Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado, conveniently located right on I-25, about 30 minutes north of Denver. My name is Michaela. This morning I have a very brand new, I think it hit the lot maybe an hour ago, Cimarron 7-horse trainer's trailer, fully loaded. It's got the trainer's tack, it's got a front dressing room, it's got air ride, it's got your hay pod up top. It's very well optioned out, so I'm excited to bring it to you guys this morning before it's even been pictured for our website, just fresh on the lot. Before we get to the trailer here in person and all those cool features, we're going to pull up our drawing and just run through your numbers with you guys. We are 8 wide, 7'4" tall. We have a floor length of 33 feet with your 8'2" nose, so a little over 40 feet nose to tail. We have a 5'6" short wall on our front tack, which gives us a 9'6" long wall on our trainer's tack on this side. So good, still really good manageable size to get into your fairgrounds with, to get into your horse shows, your rodeos, wherever you guys are going to go with this trailer. Still 33 on the floor, great size. Extra wide because you got some mangers on this one, and 7'4" tall, so really good head clearance. And here is that 9'6" trainer's tack that we just saw on the drawing. It is double doors right here. This door right here is going to be your door that closes first, and I wanted to show you guys the hardware on this side while it's easier to see. It is this one latch right here. All you have to do is pull it towards you, and when you shut this door, it's just a slam shut, so it's a slam latch. But now some other trailers out there that I've been around that have this set up, you're in here trying to fumble with cables, cords, 2 strings, 2 hands. I don't have 2 hands. I don't either holding a horse, holding a saddle, holding my clipboard here. I don't have 2 hands to be monkeying with stuff. All you have to do is find that handle, and you're just pulling it straight towards you, and it unlatches that for you. So really neat, user-friendly mechanism right there. We have fully carpeted on this tack room, so you have tack carpet on your door right here, behind your bridle hooks, which is always great having it behind your bridle hooks for protection of your equipment as well as your trailer itself. And a brush tray on this door as well. Good size brush tray, again, for all of your smaller items. I just was fumbling through mine again yesterday. It's got loose Chicago screws down in there. It's got some extra snaps, rubber bands, mane and tail bands, brushes, everything, all the smaller stuff. Good to keep it in up off the floor right there. And this does have our box for our combo lock in there. We have a combo lock on your tack room here, so you can create your own combination and lock this securely. Carried our carpet throughout. So in on this wall here, I'm going to climb in here. You guys can see how big this is. We've got 2 rows of bridle hooks right here, so extra hanging space. So maybe you're going to put all of your main show bridles out here, the ones you're always going to use, or your training bridles, the ones that you grab the most often. And then put your backups in here, your extra nose bands, extra halters, extra tie downs, extra training or show bridles in here. On this wall, we're going to have 2 saddle racks on each side, and then your 10-pole blanketry right in the middle right here. So you hang all your pads, your show blankets right here in the middle. These are fully adjustable, so if you wanted some more space, you're going to double up on some of those pads. You've got your thicker pads under your show blankets, and you want to spread these out, you can definitely do that. Same with our saddles here. You're just going to loosen your bolts back there, and you can slide them up and down anywhere on this track. So really versatile there. Same with your saddles on each side. If you wanted some more spacing here, I know cutters, you've got taller horns. I've got taller horns on my barrel saddles. You want to space these out a little bit more, you can definitely do that. You want to throw another one in here, you can do that as well. But you've got 4 of them on each side right here, so tons of tack space. I love these saddle holders right here. They are great shape to get up in the gullet of your saddle. The carpet is great for adding a grip factor and helping your saddle stick. And then Cimarron owns this extrusion for what they call this wither block right here that will really set up into the gullet of your saddle and hold that on. I know we are on air ride suspension with this trailer, so things are not going to be bouncing nearly as much as they would maybe on rubber torsion, but this is really going to hold those saddles on there. Coming up top, before we head across, we have a 2-way roof vent right here up above our saddle blankets. So this will open both directions, just like in your stall area. You get some air pulling into this tack room right here. Just good to get some air movement through here with your wet blankets right here. And then we have 2 Optibright LEDs while you guys are up there, so lots of visibility. Those guys are so bright. You're gonna have tons of light in this tack room right here. So if you are either loading up the end of a day at a horse show, you're arriving early, you're trying to unload in the dark, get your horses in their stalls, and unload your tack, you're going to have light shining in here. And then over here, again, fully carpeted right here with 2 more rows of bridle hooks. You also have more floor space right here because that was our slant wall. This is our straight wall, so we have a really good corner right here. If you wanted water on board, I mean, that's not normally a thing with our trainers trailers, but we could fit some water right here if you wanted to go with a 48 gallon Half Moon water tank. Also, it's good if you just want to set your show boxes up in here. Really good floor space right here, as well as usable wall space. And then finishing out on our other door, we have kind of the same system. We're going to have our carpet with our bridle hooks and then a brush tray down below. I'm going to go ahead and close these doors and show you guys that combo lock. So you do have your regular butterfly latch right here that is keyed the same as all of your drop windows and doors, but you also have a combo lock right here. So you can, if you want to change that combination, you can. But that's going to just give you guys a little bit more security right there. 2 fold down steps getting up in and out of this tack room. These do also fold up while your doors are open. So if you wanted to, just how it was, leave these open, not have to climb in here to get to your saddles, you guys can fold these up and get yourself maybe 10 inches closer and reach those saddles without having to climb in and out. And then up above these 2 doors, we do have one of your 16-inch awning LED lights up here as well for your visibility outside of that tack room. Optioned with extra marker lights up top. Like to have some more marker lights up on our top rails of these longer trailers. We did do drop down windows every other on the hip side. So every other, you're going to have one of those full drops. Get lots of good airflow moving through there. In between those, you have oversized sliding bus windows. So we still do have ventilation on every stall. But for those of you that maybe you live here in Colorado, but you go show Sun Circuit down in Arizona, you get down to Worlds down in Texas, wherever it may be, you get somewhere warmer that you're not used to getting, you guys can open up your trailer and have that option. If you don't want the full airflow, you do have sliders inside of your drops as well. So you could have full sliders on every hip window there. We do have 2 16-inch awning LEDs over your tie rings on this side. So a lot of our horse show customers are going to go show out of their stalls inside of the fairgrounds. If you are someone that shows off of your trailer, you're going to go to a team roping or a rodeo and you're showing off your trailer, rodeoing off your trailer, you've got tie rings on both sides and then that extra visibility over your tie rings on your tack room side here. We have amber turn signals on both sides as well. We've been starting to do those on a lot of our either wider or longer trailers, just signaling other drivers on the road when you are making turns, changing lanes, and then these also do indicate and light up when you are braking. And then back here, we've got mentioned air ride. We are on our Dexter Airflex axles. These ones are 8,000 pounds. What's really neat about these and what's kind of, there is some stigma behind the air ride suspension. I do a lot on social media, so I was reading another Facebook post the other day. People asking about upgrading to air ride axles after the fact, and that is something that can definitely be done. Our shop does that here. If you're looking at one of our other trailers, you want to add air ride after the fact, we can do that. We can also add it as part of your build. If you're looking at custom building, we just do that right from the get-go. So this one has them right from the get-go. But what you guys really need to know about these is that if something were to ever happen with your air ride, your airbags fail you, you lose your power up front, you don't have the compression going to your airbags, this trailer does set down on rubber torsion axles and you can still move the trailer around. So before that system, whenever your air ride would fail, you wouldn't be able to move this trailer. So even just forklifting our trailers around here on the lot, you would have to turn on the air ride to get your axles to work and to get your trailer moved around the lot. So now we can forklift these around on rubber torsion. If anything ever happens to you guys on the road, you can still get to your horse show, get to your rodeo, get to your event, and then get this to the shop for repairs. So something to keep in mind that you're not going to get stranded if something were to happen with these newer air ride systems. We do have our big Continentals, 17.5s, and our SRWs on this one, so it looks real sharp. Lots of good tire under this trailer as well. But we'll go and work our way around to the back. You guys will see we've got one big single door here as we're working our way around it. That is because of our broom closet that we have built in. So that broom closet is creating a little bit of a partial wall here for us and then giving us one big large opening right here. You guys can see that in all of our Cimarron trailers, our Norstars are horse trailers of our Cimarrons, not our stock trailers, but standard in all horse trailers, Cimarrons, is the line and insulate around all the walls, which is what you see, this white paneling. So from this view back here, it makes it look really big and airy and inviting and just light and bright. Gives your horses a lot of confidence stepping up in with this white sheeting around. We also have our standard insulated roof on all Cimarrons. Remember, this one's 7'4" tall, so I can touch my roof bows a little bit right here. But this is full one piece, no seams. It is dent resistant up to a baseball size hail, so it really adds a lot of structural integrity to your trailer. Has an R3 thermal value, so it's giving you guys cooler temperatures in the summer, warmer temperatures in the winter. So that combined with your line and insulate around all these walls makes it a very comfortable ride for your horses in here. And then going straight down to the floor, we have our Werm flooring, which is your non-porous. You guys can see my water from washing it this morning after its trip here from Cimarron is not draining through the floor. So this is not porous. So when your horse urinates or pees on this floor, it is not going to get through this Werm down to your aluminum floor. So it's a great protectant, increases the longevity of that aluminum floor underneath, but also adds a little bit of an insulating factor as well. So insulated floor, insulated walls, insulated roof. This is going to be a very comfortable ride for your horses in here. We have upright LEDs. It looks like we've got 4 of them on our right hand side over our hip side here. If you guys are looking at adding stall fans, our service department can add stall fans. They can also add cameras. If you guys want the view of your horses inside this trailer, make sure they're riding good going down the road. You don't have to pull over and check on them nearly as often. Our service department can add cameras up there for you guys as well. But we're gonna go and work our way all the way up to the front here. Well, we have our dividers open. So we have an escape door on our first stud wall right here. So you do have your chest bar. So if you guys ever did open it, if there was a horse in here, they could not exit the trailer without permission. And then no manger here, but we do have the D-rings for a corner feeder. I believe there is a corner feeder up in that boot box as well. So has the corner feeder to go in there for you guys, giving you the option to feed out of this stall. You also have 2 tie rings per stall. That's standard in every stall. You're gonna have those 2. So versatility there. I love the option. If I wanna hang a hay net and tie my horse to separate ones, they're not gonna get tangled around tying them on one tie ring. But if you were to also just use this space as storage, you do have your stud wall. So if you just wanna use that escape door and then close your stud wall, maybe your hay pod's already full of hay and you need to take bags of grain with you, shavings, water buckets, feed buckets. You can store all that in here and nothing's gonna slide through because of your stud wall. Fully padded dividers. All dividers are padded on both sides. And then if you were using that one for storage and you did have another stud or a mare that kicked, we have a second stud wall on this divider right here. All of our head grills are airflow. And then I know you guys were sneaking up here to look, I got ahead of myself, but we do have airflow head grills as well. So you have airflow bar type over their shoulders, and then you have airflow bar type as head grills. If you guys are looking at custom building a trailer, you can interchange these. These can be solid, these can be airflow. These can be solid if you didn't want them to see each other while they're eating, and these could be airflow. You guys can build these trailers exactly how you want them and change out whatever you need to suit you the best and your horses the best. But I just think that's really cool with these Cimarrons is you can build them how you want them. So this one has 2 of those stud walls. Here's your second one. And then the rest of them are all gonna be partial dividers. So you guys will see there's the half divider here. All of these dividers are spring loaded. You can see they really wanna help themselves open. They're on a very small slant right here on the slope, but they're still running themselves open there. And then our stud walls, we do double spring all of our stud walls. So those are really gonna open up for you as well, just because of the extra material right there. We do have one customer that builds all of his trailers and every single divider is a stud wall. Actually, I think we have multiple customers that do that. But then you double spring every stud wall, and even when you do build a 5, 6, 7 horse trailer with all stud walls, they do still want to stay open and not work their way back closed because of that double spring option. Working our way back, you guys will have been seeing we have mangers in the rest of these stalls. So this is a 7-horse. We've got mangers in 6 of them, which is your feed trough right here. You guys can design, if you are custom building a trailer, you can change the depth. If you want one that's a little bit shallower, a little bit deeper, you guys can change this, but this is kind of your standard option right here. And then we do have the drop down windows on our head side. So if you guys do need to get in here, check on your horses, you're stopping for fuel and you want to set a bucket of water in here and let them drink, you can do that. And then we do have our kick mat all the way around. So you've got your kick mat right below your mangers there, as well as that tail side. So back here at our last stall, you guys will see we still have our divider here. It does fully open all the way without interfering with our rear door. So if our rear door was closed, this divider can still open up fully without any telescoping ability here. And I like that so that it's just less moving parts, less things to go wrong when you have movable pieces in your stall area right here. So we do build all of our Cimarrons here at Transwest a little bit longer to just delete that telescoping divider aspect. So this extra stall back here will be much larger because we'll see how much space you have right here. This would be an extra stall. I mean, you could maybe fit 2 depending on how big they are. You could fit maybe a cricket back in here. If you want to hang a rubber mat and do like a stud wall back here, you could do a mare and a foal back here, but this one is much larger. And we have a butt strap right here for safety. If you did have a horse in this last slant that liked to back up as soon as you opened this big door right here, and you didn't get in and get them untied yet, this just reminds them to stay in the trailer until you can get in here and untie them safely. Always good to have safety features. And then before we step out, I'll take you guys back up to the roof one more time because we do have 2-way roof vents over each stall. We just took a look at this back in our trainer's tack, but they're in here as well. You'll have one over every stall. So you guys, they do work 2 different directions. Typically what I would do in my 4-horse trailer is the ones up front, I have them open forwards so that they're pulling air into the trailer. And then these ones back here, I'd push them open backwards so it's drawing air out of the trailer. Makes for a really good airflow right across their backs. And these ones are so easy to use. I know before I had some older trailers that had those and I could never get them opened or closed. They were such a pain. Those ones work phenomenally. They're so smooth. We've got 2 of our 8-inch awning LEDs right here for visibility over our rear ramp and our door access back here. And then we have our easy angle ladder right here. So this is giving you guys access up into that hay pod that we have up there. Looks like it's an 11-foot 6-inch hay pod. Your easy angle ladder back here. You guys can see even with a rear ramp, you can still have a rear ramp with your ladder. It's gonna just come out to right here and gets you the better angle to climb all the way up there with versus having to climb straight up and down. It's really easy to use as well. You can do it with one hand. It's going to set back on this platform, which is going to hold it. And then it also has this little latch right here. So same as what we just seen on our trainer's tag. It's on all of our doors here as well. But it will set in there and you guys can actually lock that as well. So I know when it arrived, that was locked, which gives you guys the peace of mind that it's not ever, if you did not have a rear ramp, it would not come loose and drag down the road behind you. Just a good safety feature there. We've got all of our light switches right here. These 4 are controlling our left hand, our right hand, our load space, and our lights back here. Then we do have, I'll go ahead and close this door while I talk to you guys, but we do have the rear ramp on this one. I do have my air ride turned on right now, so you guys can see how steep it gets with the air turned on. It's actually not that bad on this trailer. Some trailers will get pretty steep with the air on, so I always mention to maybe load your horses, then turn your air on, give it about 60 seconds before you drive out of the driveway. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. They're not very heavy. They are spring loaded as well. You guys can see right now it's kind of wanting to bounce off the ground just a little bit. But they go up very easily. And then you guys can see that it does fold up over that rear ramp without any issues. Rear ramps are also something that our service department can add here. And if you did want a camera back here for as like a backup camera. Our service department can also do that. Now there's the broom closet that I mentioned earlier. This is why you have that partial wall at the rear and the one single full door here. Really good spot if you don't want to be putting stuff in your nice trainer's tack or your dressing room. You can put all your pitchforks back here, your buckets. There are a lot of people that will not haul with lead ropes on. They actually have like trailer ties on each slant. So they'll load the horses, clip them to the trailer tie, take the lead rope off, and then hang them right here in your broom closet. So lots of good purposes for this, especially with your rubber mat down below. It's going to keep things a lot cleaner in here. You also have some bridle hooks if you wanted to hang something back here, maybe like some hoses you could hang back here. You could put a vacuum back here, it looks like. It's a really good, usable, more of like a dirty tack space. You could put some water buckets back there. But when that gets full, because I know I would fill it up with tons of stuff right off the bat. So while this is happening, I want to point out that our rubber seals on all of our Cimarrons are very airtight. They're meant to push the air out. So you always want to give them a good slam. Sometimes they will give even me a little bit of trouble, but you just want to really give a good shove and then it will stay shut for you. When you do that, you can actually hear the air get pushed out of it. But when you do fill up all that space, you do have your manger storage as well. So up above your axles and behind your axle right here, you're going to have these smaller doors, which lead to all the same space right here. But this one right here will give you lots of good storage for grain bags, feed buckets, water buckets. As I mentioned, it's all one space, so you can lay down some brooms and some pitchforks in there as well. And then we do have drop downs on our head side. So you can drop this down and then this window will lock in. If you wanted to drive with this window down, it will not pop out. I passed a trailer going home the other day that didn't have windows that locked in like this, and their windows were catching the air and they were actually setting out like this and waving in the wind. So these are nice because they do lock in and give you the ability to safely drive with them down. Then they do have the jail bars here so your horses cannot get their heads out. I passed one of those again the other day going home. They had their horses' heads out. Scares me a little bit. I like to keep mine in there, keep them safe and protected from any debris or cars that may pass a little bit too closely. But if you are at a truck stop, you're getting your horses untied, you're offering them some water, whatever it may be, you want to get in there and check on them, let them stretch their heads out when you're stopped, you guys can drop those jail bars down. And whenever we have mangers, I always recommend maybe put a little step stool in there, because we do have our air ride turned on. And we are 7'4" tall, so you guys can see I'm 6 foot tall. It's a ways up here. So get you a stool, get up there, check on them, give them some water. Before you get going down the road, real easy to just put those jail bars back in there and get going down the road. And again, if you didn't want that much airflow through there, it's colder like it is today, I'm gonna slam this window, but I'm gonna slam it at my latch when I do that. You guys have bus windows inside of your drop downs. And then up in front of our axles, we get these extra large manger doors on these 3. So really huge storage access right here. We do have some customers that are trainers that do spend a lot of time on the road that will actually mount a second spare tire in one of these doors. So you have 2 spares going down the road in case of blowouts, because these doors are so big. Real easy to store all your tire changing stuff in there as well. Same as the other side, we have our amber turn signal down here. And then we do have a 16-inch awning LED light up there, as well as up above my head here. So same visibility over these tie rings on this side. And then back to our escape door right here. This escape door or access door is leading us straight into that first stud wall area. I talked about using that space for storage if you weren't using it for horses. You guys can see with your stud wall there, tons of good space in there to bring that extra hay, grain, shavings down the road with you. Your chest bar here. And then this door, you guys can see on the inside, it does have this latch right here. So a horse could very easily mess with that if they wanted to. If they did, with your secondary latch, they would never be able to open the door from inside though. So second safety feature right there. And this also has a drop down window on it as well, so you don't lose that drop down window by having the escape door. Now up front, this is going to be our dressing room. So this is the back side of that trainer's tack that we saw in the beginning of the video. 5'6" short wall right here. We have a fold down step getting in and out of this because we are 8 foot wide. Don't have our running board down here, but we have a fold down step to get up in here. We did rubber mat on the floor, and then we did carpet all the way around. So you guys can step in here after it's been wet outside or muddy and get in here and get to all of your equipment. Carpet over here with 1 row of bridle hooks, so just a little bit extra hanging storage space right here for whatever you need. And then behind me we have our shelf, so it has our 2-inch lip and our rubber mat inside. This is a perfect spot for hat cans if you want to throw some hat cans up here. I have a whole bunch of stuff in mine. I've got corner feeders, I've got cinches, front cinches, back cinches, extra ropes. It's just a really good space, and nothing's going to slide off because of that lip. And then down below you get a full length clothes bar as well. So if you are horse showing, this is a great space for either all your clothes or your clients' clothes. Hang up all their garment bags, their chaps, their shirts, all that right here. But we do have a secondary clothes bar up here in the nose. So if you do run out of space back there, you've got that second one right there to hang more stuff with. Up in the nose, we've got an OptiBrite LED in there, so you guys have visibility when you do store a whole bunch of stuff in here. I know this is a good spot if you are a trainer and you're taking your clients down to a horse show and you have all your folding tables and your pop-up tents, your canopies, all that stuff in their bags, those big nice chairs. You can throw all this in storage up here. We do have sliding bus windows on each side for some ventilation. This is fully carpeted as well. Good protectant for all that equipment if you do store it up here. And then up above my head, we actually have this cutout right here. This is pre-framed for an AC unit. So if you did want to cut this out and mount an AC unit in here, that is an option. Our service department can do that. You can also do that at Cimarron. If you do choose to go full custom and build your own trailer, we can do that as part of the build process. And then what I'm standing on right now is a 12-inch boot box. So you guys seen it works great to get up in the nose. Good bench to sit on as well as storage. So you guys did want to store stuff in there. I think that is that corner feeder. But that's good storage for boots. Works well for that. If you do end up adding AC and you do spend some time up in the nose, you could throw all your sleeping bags and bedrolls and blankets and stuff in our boot box to keep that out of the way. But just always nice to have that. Never hurts to have more storage. Now this front dressing room, being that you might be storing a lot of show equipment in there, it also has a combo lock on it as well. So you do have your same key for your mangers, your drop windows, your doors and all that, but you have a combo lock over here as well. We do have a 16-inch awning light out on this side as well. So you've got visibility that we've seen inside of our dressing room as well as out here. This trailer is white sheeted. You guys, we can also do a black, charcoal, and silver. There's also a new color called Caribou as well if you wanted to change that exterior color. Coming up here under the nose, we do have a single leg electric jack right here. It does have a manual override. I love these equalizer jacks because of that manual option. If you were to ever accidentally drain your battery, you do have the option. You're not stranded. You can still get your truck either down on your trailer or up, down on your truck or up off your truck that way. Aluminum battery box right here has our battery in it. We do have a battery disconnect, so do make sure that you use that so you don't accidentally drain your battery. Right now we are running off of battery power. I do have my 7-pin plugged in just to demonstrate all those marker lights for you. But we can kill our battery right there. This battery box also locks, has that same key there, so you can lock that. Over here we have our air ride system. Now it is fully on board, has its own onboard compressor, and it is auto leveling. So right now you guys can see we're not hooked up to a truck. We don't have to have anything wired to our truck. We don't have any air lines run to our truck. We can turn this on and off right here. You have a raise and a lower, on and an off. That's all you need to worry about. On and raise, off and lower. If you are just gonna stop for the day, stop for lunch, you just can turn your air ride off for a couple hours. That's fine. You can just do off and lower. When you do park it overnight or for long periods of time, we do recommend to drain the air out of the lines, and to do so you're just going to pull on this string straight towards you and it will finish pushing the air out of the lines. That is just so that you do not get condensation in your lines, which would then add water to your lines. That will just help with the longevity of your system and keeping it clean. If you do forget to do that for a while, and then one time you do go pull on it and it spits water out at you, that's fine. Nothing to be concerned about there. Our jack system right here is up and down with the push of a button. And then finishing over here, we do have a full-size matching spare tire right here. So if you guys have any questions on this trailer, I know it just came in, so my receptionist was not out there. I was not able to get you a stock tag for this one, but it's 5N241672. Also, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. Again, it just came in, so the Cimarron 7-horse that just arrived, I would be glad to help you guys out. We can run through our spec sheet and our drawing together. We can discuss a custom build together, or adding some optional add-ons through service if you guys want to do that. My name is Michaela Hall. My email is michaela.hall@transwest.com. And then that cell phone, you guys can call or text me directly at 303-918-6367. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Have a great weekend.